So I was asked to do the My Vegan Story hashtag. So this is my story of how I got into eating a plant-based diet. So as a bit of history, as a teenager, I got into the dance music scene quite heavily, and that lasted a good 15 years. I would go out basically at minimum once every 2 weeks. And most of the times these were benders with excessive alcohol and whatnot. I would spend the better half of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday recovering and feeling pretty miserable. After that, I was so into it that I started promoting and doing raves myself and putting on nightclub gigs. And so you can imagine this was quite taxing on the body. Being in that environment, people aren't into fitness, people aren't into healthy eating. It's about having the best time on a Saturday night as you can get. My fitness was non-existent. I was focused on dance music and going out. Being from a European family, unfortunately I had to be involved with actually killing animals, which is one of those things that I really think doesn't come naturally to a human. And I was helping my dad. It was a big pig or whatnot, and I had to just be there and help him, but I hated doing it. When my wife was pregnant, I stopped going out completely. So to fill my time, I started getting into homemade foods. Stuff like I would make my own cheese. I bought a meat smoker, so I got into smoking meat, making jerky. I started to roast my own coffee. I got into brewing my own beer. So I got an alcohol still, and I had vodka on tap anytime I wanted. This was a bad idea because my drinking really increased. It was on tap, I could have it anytime I wanted. It was pretty much for free. So it was very hard to say no. And I wasn't going out at the time. I thought I could be at home and I could have a few drinks and that was fine. It could have turned quite ugly. I didn't become a professional alcoholic, but I certainly binge drunk every single weekend. When my oldest child was born, I started to look at my lifestyle more seriously. I was pretty overweight at the time. I was carrying 25 kilos extra, so you can see in these photos here, it's 100 kilos. I didn't look good. You can see my eyes are bloodshot. I'm overweight. My health isn't great, and I'm having a high meat diet with lots of cheese and beer and whatnot. It just wasn't conducive to health. I started to calorie restrict basically. I was eating about 1,200 calories, 12 to 1,500 calories a day. So I started to lose a bit of weight, so I was getting quite inspired, so I got into a bit of fitness. But it wasn't too serious, I didn't have the energy to be running around. I was running at a calorie deficit most of the time. And then I watched a documentary called Food Inc., which is the first to sort of broaden my mind about food and what we eat and whatnot.
The industry doesn't want you to know the truth about what you're eating, because if you knew, you might not want to eat it.
Not long after that, I watched a documentary called Forks Over Knives. This really cemented the deal for me, and it made such an impression on me that I turned vegan overnight. It wasn't long after that I saw Julian Ryder and saw him promoting a high fruit diet. And this appealed to me because I've always been a big fruit eater. It did seem strange at first to eat 10 bananas at one time, and so I gave it a go for a week or so, and my energy was through the roof. I felt great. I started to get more serious about fitness. The only negatives I came to realize after was that I was becoming quite obsessive and I was becoming quite closed-minded in terms of, I was basically a hardcore raw vegan, so raw was law at the time. So once I made the switch to high fruit diet, my health started to improve, I started to lose weight, I bought a bike, I started running, and I was feeling great. And over time, I've been vegan now for 3 years nearly. I've learned a lot and I've become way more relaxed, and now I eat more of a raw to four diet. I can go out to restaurants, always vegan, 100%. This is how I got into eating a vegan diet. I'd love to hear your experience in the comments below. Please like the video and see you again next time.